today I want to talk about Ucuuba butter from Rainforest Chica. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Rainforest Chica, the company, then I'm going to talk about the product itself, and then give you my opinion of it. My name's Sharon, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you guys subscribe below and turn on notifications to get the latest updates. Okay, so let's get started. I had heard about Rainforest Chica probably a couple years ago, and I looked at her website, and I thought her prices were more than what I was willing to pay for. And the reason for this is I was looking at larger sizes. I didn't really at that time see the point of getting smaller sizes when I can get bigger sizes and have it last longer. Now that I know what I know, I feel like samples are definitely the way to go. So you can try before you buy, and you can just try a whole bunch of things at once. So I did finally purchase from Rainforest Chica when she went to Brazil. Now in the past, when she went to Brazil, and she usually does this about every 3 months, so 4 times a year, she did offer 15% off on her online shop. She no longer does that, or at least she hasn't this time, and now she's in Brazil, and I think that's perhaps because she moved. She does, however, have 5% off that you can get on your first order, and after that she'll send you information with a discount code for 10% off other orders that you have in the future. And I do have the link below. You can check it out to get 5% off your first order. So I did mention that now she doesn't have her offer anymore, and that's recently because she got a bigger shop. So she does have an online store, but she also has a shop located in Florida. And she went to a bigger shop because her business is just doing very well. However, in the process, she also had to downsize her home. I'm not sure if she's in a house or an apartment, but she did mention that, her business is growing, but her living space did get smaller. And one thing I really like about Rainforest Chica is that she's very invested in her business and the community. So she does have Instagram, and she has Facebook, and she interacts with the customers herself. So it is kind of just her. She does sometimes get help from her neighbors. She had a picture of one of her neighbors helping her take things to the post office. She has family that helps out a little bit, but it is mainly her doing everything. And she mentioned how that can get very difficult when you're getting constant emails and Facebook messages and that, especially when she goes to Brazil. She mentioned she doesn't always have access to the internet, or maybe it's not as fast. So then when she comes back, she's just inundated with orders and messages that she has to respond to. But she does respond to those messages as soon as she can. She's very passionate about a few things. One of the things she's passionate about is animals. She does mention cruelty-free products a number of times on her social media. She's also talked about veganism, and I'm not sure if she is a vegan or not, but she does mention that on her social media. And the last time that she went to Brazil, she actually found some abandoned puppies. She found like a litter of abandoned puppies on the street. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with South America or Latin America, but they do have a lot of abandoned dogs on the street. Like, it's not a huge amount, but they do have it. Like, it is common. It's well known that there are just dogs on the street. And what she did with these puppies is she took them to the vet. And I can't remember how many there were. I do know that one died. I believe there are about 6 or 7 now. And she took them to the vet, and she paid for all their costs out of pocket. Now, I do understand that Brazil is not the same as the US as far as medical costs go. However, she is still paying for about half a dozen puppies. So she paid for their food, she's paying for their shelter, she paid for the deworming and the heart medicine that they have, the vaccines that they had. They also got sick, so they had parvo and distemper. I'm not sure if you're that familiar with dogs, but these diseases in puppies can kill them. And like I said, like I did mention, one of the puppies did in fact die. And she is trying to find a home for them. They're currently in a shelter, and she's just, she's paying for all of this out of pocket, and she really doesn't have to do this. Another thing that she's very passionate about is plastic. And I know this is something that is difficult for her because she does have to use plastic in her packaging. So this does is a form of plastic, and that's just a necessary thing in order for her to be able to ship these products to people. But she does mention plastic pollution, how the earth is drowning in plastic. She shares videos, she shares helpful tips, she talks about things such as reusable straws and things like that. So I do really like that part of Rainforest Chica. where she shares with everybody on social media. Now, when she travels to Brazil, and like I said, she does go about every 3 months, so 4 times a year, she also meets with her suppliers, and she gets involved with the community there. She may even help with harvesting and just, talking with them to make sure that she is dealing with the suppliers and everything is done ethically and sustainably. So she does have a lot on her shoulders, and she handles it pretty well. I want to share with you guys now a little bit about the product. So this is the Ucuuba butter, and I purchased 4 samples from Rainforest Chica of butters, and they were each 1 ounce. And this was the butter that I actually did not want to purchase, and I wanted the other one. I think it was Ucuuba butter, and they were sold out. So when she goes to Brazil and she has her 15% sales that she used to have, her products were just selling out very quickly, and I wanted to get another butter, and I got this one. And so a little bit about this butter. This is cold pressed, it's wild harvested, it comes from Brazil. She says that it smells similar to beeswax, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. So there's one big chunk left. There are smaller pieces, and I used the smaller pieces that broken off, and there's like a little powder, but this is what it looks like. So it is kind of a brown color, and as you guys can see, there's golden specks in it. She says it smells a little bit about beeswax. I don't find it that overwhelming as another one of the butters I have. I have Ucuuba butter, and that is just, you can smell that like right away when you open the package. This has a very mild scent. I guess it does smell a little bit like honey to me, or earthy scent. In addition to smelling like beeswax or honey, you can also use it as a substitute. So she sells raw ingredients such as this. She also sells ready-made products, and she has started offering 2 options. She has like the beeswax option, and she also offers a vegan option, and I believe that for most of the vegan options, she uses this. So it is hard, and it also has a high melting point. Now, on all of her pages about her butters, she does say that they can melt during the summer. And I know she's had a few customers in the past, who get their butters in the summer and complain about it being like broken or something because it's a liquid. That's just what happens. It's a natural butter, and in the summer, some of them can melt. But this, however, has such a high melting point, and it's so hard. It's just really hard for me to work with. Now, I do make my own body butter. I do DIY with that, but I do very basic things. And the bain marie, where you have, like the double boiler, and you have water, and then you have the product on top, that's even a little bit more advanced with me. I usually put on the kettle, put water into a mug, and then put my container in the mug, and that's how I melt my butters. So I have found this, it's very hard to work with. But it does have a lot of positive properties for it. So she has mentioned that it's really good for your skin. So it's good for anti-inflammatory, antiseptic. It's also very good for anti-aging properties as well. So if you have dry skin or mature skin, you can use this. Now, you are going to have to mix it with another oil or butter. And I tried mixing it with mango butter, and that's very soft. And it didn't work that well, so I mixed it with shea butter, and that worked a little better. But I still had specks of this inside of my balm that I had made. So it wasn't blending in completely, and I'm sure that was user error. You can also use this for your hair. It's said to be good with like shine, elasticity, and hydration. So it does have a lot of beneficial properties that way. Now, as far as the fatty acid composition, so all these oils and butters do have fatty acid composition, and it's what it's made off of. And this is primarily, it's almost 3/4 of myristic acid. And I don't know much about that, so you guys can check that out on her website. She does have all of the information up there, the chemical composition and the fatty acid breakdown, so you guys can look that up. But it is high in vitamin A and vitamin C. So she recommends using it for things that I don't usually use. She says that it's really good for soap making. So if you are a soaper, you can use this, and you can also use it as a substitute for beeswax. I do not make my own soap. I don't really like beeswax at all. One of my daughters is allergic to it. I'm just not a fan. I find it hard to mix. So I am glad that I purchased this, and I tried it, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this. I might actually end up giving it to a friend just because I find it so hard to work with. I definitely want to try the other one that I originally wanted, which was the Ucuuba butter, next time, and I believe it's sold out again. but I will get that sometime in the future. So I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever heard of Rainforest Chica? I know that, like I said, her business seems to be taking off, and more people are getting into all these natural products and raw ingredients and making things themselves and DIYing. So if you've ever purchased anything from her, let me know what your favorite product is. And give me your opinion of it. Please also like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching.